You are listening to Huddling with the Herd on KYNT and KYNT-TV, your weekly update on all things Yankton Bucks and Gazelles athletics. From the scores, previewing the upcoming schedules, to exclusive interviews with coaches and players. You'll find it right here on Huddling with the Herd. Now we go live to NSMA and SDBA Sportscaster of the Year award winner and the voice of the Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
All right, welcome back into Huddling with the Herd, the pilot episode. And today we're going to be talking with Coach Drew Lawrence of Yankton Post 12 Legion Baseball. Post 12 had a pretty successful season, and what better way to kick off the new format of the show than with Coach Drew Lawrence. Coach, thanks for joining us.
You bet. Happy to be here.
All right, let's jump right into it. First of all, congratulations on a very successful post-12 season, the best season in Yankton Legion history, or at least in recent history. And you just have to be proud as a coach and how close you are to all these athletes, being able to get so far into the season. You and I were just joking before we pushed record that you're used to maybe having a week and a half of summer break before you start school, but you got off the bus back from the Central Plains Regional Tournament right into your classroom, right?
Right into teaching, right into at least the mindset of teaching. So it was a little different. It's a good problem to have, I'll tell you that. Being able to write lineups August 8th on there and put that date on there, that's something I've never been able to do before. So like you said, the success of this year has been crazy. Fun. Overall, I would say I was just Coach Creer and Coach Mueller and I were just happy to be able to be with these guys an extra 2 weeks. And be able to hang out and coach them a little bit longer. So, I don't remember a season being quite as fun as this one.
Yeah, 30-14 overall record, second seed in Class A, entering the state tournament, runner-up at state. Obviously, then we're given access to or a berth into the Central Plains Regional Tournament up in Fargo. We'll start with Watertown, Coach. First of all, how was the atmosphere up there? Obviously, it's an old stadium, but historic. And last couple of years, it was in Yankton, which obviously you're very fond of, I'm assuming, and then Brookings, and then Watertown. So it's just been 3 straight years of state tournaments. So how did Watertown stack up as far as atmosphere compared to the others?
The atmosphere was really good. Watertown baseball did a really good job of getting the field ready and all the amenities that come with the state tournament. They did some things that some places have never done before, with everything that they were able to have at the stadium. But overall, I think everyone that attended the Watertown Stadium was very pleased as far as what the atmosphere was. Crowds were very good the first 2 days, as they usually are. And then as those go, as teams lose out, they get down a little bit more. But overall, the first couple of days were very electric there. Yeah,
and a big chunk of grass got taken out, right? And you guys had to wait for like a lawn crew to come out and take care of it, or what?
Yeah, that was some sod. I think that was game 3 against Renner. We did have a little wait there. It ended up where we scored a couple runs after that, so we were hoping for more delays along the way, but we didn't get any.
No, I was just watching you stand over the hole talking to Career and the officials there, and I could just imagine what you're saying. Like, all right, we're gonna have to fix this. I don't know. Was it just a big divot?
It was a huge divot. I mean, they had put sod in there, within the week or two, so it wasn't really settled. And Samuel rounded first and kind of kicked it up, and then they initially tried to fix the sod. I did suggest that maybe we just tear it up and throw some dirt on there, which is eventually what we did, but. It kind of relaxed everybody a little bit. It kind of relaxed Renner too, because you're nervous. You're in an elimination game. You win, you keep playing, you lose, you go home. So everyone was a little bit nervous. So us being able to hang out with a couple of our players there, a couple of Renner players there, I think it kind of relaxed everyone a little bit, and which was what the result was, which was really good baseball.
Any team that has success in the state tournament and, the regional tournament thereafter is going to maybe just get hot, and they're going to have a good mix of all the things I'm about to say. But Yankton has had just a steady success as far as hitting, pitching, fielding, and base running, every aspect of baseball, but all season long. In years past, Coach, post game, we'll talk, and I'd say like 60% of the time we're talking about the base running, right? That's kind of what Yankton's always hung their hat up on. But great hitting throughout the year, and pitching was just solid, and really it just I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Just solid from steady. There you go. From the beginning of the year all the way through the end. So, I mean, if you were going to hang your hat up on any aspect that you're most surprised of or most happy with the team surmounting your expectations, which one is it?
Oh, I would definitely say pitching. I mean, we knew we had a lot of pitching going into the tournament. You and I had talked a lot that as long as we can continue to stay in the state tournament day after day, we have an advantage. And boy, did we need it. We lose the first game to Harrisburg, 8-0. And then immediately you're in a elimination game. So then we play Pierre, extra innings. I think we went 9 innings with Pierre. I call that the Beck Reichen game because he threw 8.2 innings and had all of our RBI that game, all 3 of them. So I call that the Beck Reichen game. And then we played Renner and had to go 10 innings. I mean, a lot of teams, when you get to the next day, you're going to be really out of pitching. Well, the next day after the 10 innings, we had gotten Cottle out of the game 1, and he was available Friday. So we ended up having our 1 available for Friday to get into the state championship game. The extra innings ended up probably being a disadvantage in the end as Harrisburg was able to throw the same pitcher at us. But, I mean, if we don't have the depth in pitching that we did have this year, I mean, it's going to be tough for us to advance past day 3 after you lose game 1. So this season's pitching was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and through state and the regular season into your best of 3 series into state, it seemed like there was a lot of games near the tail end of the season there where, I mean, yes, whole team effort, of course, but it always seemed to be one player that really dominated a game, that really, it made my job easier for key offensive and defensive player of the game. They really didn't make it a debate, but it must be really nice to be able to have multiple players on the team be able to step up in different situations. Some of these players, coach, going on to play baseball at the next level, some other sports at the next level as well, some even locally. It just seems like a great group of seniors you have and juniors, but we're talking seniors here for the next level.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you said. It's fun when you have a really good team, which we did. It's fun because you don't know who's going to be the guy that's going to step up that day, especially in baseball. Baseball is a funny sport where you could go 0-for-4 one day and the next day you could go 4-for-4. So like in the playoffs, the regionals, I'm trying to remember back. It seems so long ago now, but Feeser had some really big hits there. You get into the state tournament and you had Beck Reichen in that game. You had Cottle pitching well. Central Plains, the game that we won, Matthew Sheldon was a triple away from the cycle. He was 4-for-4. So he was locked in that day. So these seniors and juniors were able to, I mean, different day, someone different stepping up. And it's fun because no one cared if they went 0-for-4 as long as we won the game. That's the team that you want. That's the team that you want to coach and be a part of, which is part of why we just wanted to keep playing. It would have been cool if we would be playing this week at the Legion World Series in Shelby, just for the fact that we'd be able to be with these guys another week and be able to hang out and be able to be a part of it. Because when you have really good players and good kids, you don't want to miss out on any time. So fun season.
Yep, you entered the postseason on a little bit of a win streak there. Then you took down Sturgis in 2 games. No third game was necessary. You enter state, coach. You lose 8-0. That had to be kind of a heartbreaker to open up. Obviously, you're not out of it. It's double elimination, but that's a tough pill, like right out of the gate. And I know the guys were probably a little bit down, but how did you kind of keep them level, like literally telling them, hey, we still are in this?
Well, I mean, kids in general know if you're telling the truth or not. Kids, players, they all know if you're telling the truth. So we had immediately after the Harrisburg game, and I really believed this, I told them that we were going to be playing on Saturday, and I told them the game plan. I said, Beck's going to throw against Pierre, and then Frankie's going to throw against Renner. We'll use Bestie and Boston in relief, and then Mark's going to be available for Friday, and then boom, we'll see what happens. The hard part with that is kids believing that, honestly, because once you lose, it is a little demoralizing. You know your back's against the wall. You know one loss and you're gone. But it goes with what I said about having good kids. They believed it. They believed that we were going to win the next game and win the game after that. So honestly, after every single game, we just said we get to play another day. Let's go play tomorrow. win that one, and we'll play another day again. So having good kids really helps with that. Coaches and me and Coach Creer and Coach Mueller can say whatever we want, but if you don't have kids that believe it, it doesn't really matter.
Well, you made a surge in the elimination bracket thereafter. Of course, you mentioned Pierre, a 3-2 victory. That one went into extras, right? And so did post 307 Renner, I believe, right? Both of those were extra innings.
Pierre went 9 innings, and then Renner went 10.
Yep, and then post 320 was your most solid victory, I guess, in the entire state tournament. And then, of course, Harrisburg at the end, meeting on championship Saturday. But it just shows the resilience of this team, and that's very impressive. And then you move on to the Central Plains Regional Tournament. How's Fargo as far as environment? Kind of what's that? How does that differ from like a state tournament environment?
Well, this was all a first for us as far as going to the regional. So we had a charter bus drive down, pick us up, drove up there. The hotels were paid for by the Legion. We had people separated. The field in Fargo was phenomenal. It's very similar to our field, turfed infield, grass outfield. So it looked a lot like that, but it was a little bit more new. And it's a funny environment to be in. I don't think anyone really understands unless you've either played, coached, or ran this tournament. But you have the 8 best teams from 4 states playing in one tournament. So like you can't let up. I mean, you have the state champion and runner up from South Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska, and North Dakota. It's tough. I mean, we played really well, but it's an environment that's definitely special, and I'm glad we were able to experience it, to kind of get our feet wet with it, because we didn't really know what we were getting into. I think game 1, our players were a little not hesitant, but like wondering, like, hey, do we belong here with all these other really great teams? And then we lost game 1, but we competed. We figured out after a couple innings, you know what, we do belong here. And then it was really fun after that. So the environment was special. I hope we're able to do it again here in the future.
I think the state of Iowa coach is just scared. They don't want to be part of the Central Plains.
Well, they had a little different dynamic with high school. Their high school's in the summer. I don't know if they'll ever be able to come back, but it was, I was talking to the players. I didn't talk to them about this during it, but I talked to them after about it, and I talked to, my family about it too. But you look at the population of every one of these towns that were in it. You got Lincoln, Nebraska, 300, 400,000. You got Omaha, 500,000. You got Minneapolis, essentially, with Shakopee. And then you got, all these are in the hundreds, 200,000s. And then you got Yankton, 15,000 people.
Hey, we have a Hobby Lobby now. Okay. So.
But, There was a parent from post 2, I think, didn't know much about our town. I think it was from a parent from Shakopee was talking to us. And they were asking about our town and how big our town was. And when we told them it was 15,000 people, they were a little shocked. They were like, wow, you guys are, you're really, that's impressive for your team, for how small your town is. And the answer is easy. I mean, baseball is important in Yankton. Our youth coaches, our youth programs are important. People want to play baseball in Yankton, which is the biggest thing that we want.
Yep. All my years here, I've noticed just sports in general. Yankton buys in. They support their local athletes and local teams, and all the programs from all sports all invest in those young athletes. And that is something that I totally agree with you on. And I mean, I would go through everyone's stats, but obviously we do that all day. But we already mentioned the seniors, how special they were. And kind of, did you have a message to the team to the end of the season? Obviously, they're all going to be playing other sports and, moving on. And they won't have you until spring for baseball, obviously. But kind of what was a closing message for the guys that will be returning?
I mean, it was pretty simple. I mean, it was a weird ending, right? Because we were happy and sad at the same time. We were happy with what we had done as a program, but sad that we were done playing. And the message was very simple. Like this should jump you in other sports as well, being this competitive, and they will be. And to be ready to come back, a really good example of how kids in this town are. So Saturday at the state high school Legion tournament, we just lost to Harrisburg. The score was 2-0, good game. But I was a little down. And a lot of our players were a little down. We thought we were going to win 2 that day. I thought we were going to win both. I think 30 minutes went by. We did the ceremony, the celebration or whatever. And then Tate Bestie came up to me and said, "Hey, we practicing Monday?" And so I was like, "Oh, we don't even get a break here. You're just going on right to the next thing." So these players just go right to the next thing. They're going to go right into football or golf or whatever they want to do. And they're going to go from that into basketball or wrestling or whatever they do. And they're just going to keep going at it and keep competing. That's the cool thing about our community. And we have really good coaches across the board here in our high school and youth community. So.
Well, Coach, I hope that you're able to catch your breath. I know obviously you have your teaching job that you had to get into, but as far as coaching, just take a step back and just appreciate what you and the team were able to accomplish this season. Yankton's very proud of you guys, and it was, again, just from us here at KYNT, just congratulations on such a great, successful season.
I appreciate it, Bryce. It was fun. I appreciate all your coverage. Appreciate the newspaper coverage. It's sad that it's over, but luckily most of these seniors are going to be sticking around town. So
absolutely. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you.
That was Coach Drew Lawrence, Yankton Post 12 Legion Baseball, a very successful season. We'll take a break, come back.